Alright guys, what's up? Welcome to Camel's Creation. Today we are doing a track build on Elvis's Gt350 Mustang. So we got track day coming up June 7th. We will be at AMP. So we're basically upgrading a whole bunch of suspension goodies on this car. Everything from suspension, coils, Swaybar Endlinks, bracing, bump steer, camber arms, camber plates, everything you can imagine. Everything is from Steeda. My boy Elvis likes to get the nice things, so we have all Steeda things.
Are you good?
But yeah, we're getting ready for the track, so everything will be official. So I got the car in the air. We probably start on the front. Like I said, we got a whole bunch of goodies here. All Steeda, camber bolts, a whole bunch of bracing and traction bars. So once Elvis gets back, we will do a let him do a part breakdown, explain everything as I get these tires off.
All right, so we got some Eibach lowering springs. Got some tow rods to correct the toe. Some stiffer vertical links. Got subframe alignment kit. Subframe collars.
And these collars don't have to be pressed in, right? You just place them.
Yes, so it's a bolt-on affair. You lower the subframe, you put this top and bottom. It fills up the gap between the subframes. Then you got your front and rear Swaybar Endlinks.
This is the long one's the front?
Yes, the long one's the front, short one's the rear. You got your bump steer, which is essentially outer tie rods. Got camber plates with the front. So when I do the lowering springs, this replaces the OEM top hat.
So the Mustang doesn't have upper control arms, so we have to do camber through camber plates.
Then we got rear camber arms, so we can adjust camber in the rear. As you guys see, it's one-piece solid aluminum.
Billet, I'm assuming?
Yep. Then got some rear subframe bracing.
So since it's two of them, does it go from front to rear or side to side?
It is side to side, so it attaches front to rear, but you have one for the left, one for the right.
Okay.
Then you got your front subframe brace, which goes in the front and it ties the left and right together.
And what, sway bars, front and rear sway bars?
And front and rear sway bars.
What brand are these?
These are Ford Performance.
Oh shit. Nice, nice. How much drop are you expecting?
1 inch.
Okay, not too bad.
Between 1 and 1.2.
Gotcha. Well, yeah, that is all we're gonna do today. Try to knock out in one day. We're gonna start with the front. So, of course, first step, take the wheels off. We'll probably get the wheels off, undo the suspension bolts. Should be 2 bolts going to the hub, and then do our actual suspension bolts. Definitely, guys, make sure you get this. I've been hit in the face once or twice once I take these off, so make sure you do that to actually compress the springs. You don't want those to pop off. But you're gonna get started, get these wheels off, and I'll show you all a step-by-step guide to do everything. I probably won't record everything live. I'll just do step-by-step, make it quick. Thanks, guys. Alright guys, first I'm gonna need to get some of these bolts and these arms off. So make sure you get all your sensors loose. You don't want to start taking stuff loose and you pull these and rip your ABS and your speed sensors. So you get some pliers and you squeeze and press that in. Then we're gonna do our Swaybar Endlinks, and this is a 18. So you have one right there and you have one right here. Make sure you put a crescent wrench or a wrench right there on that left side and your other wrench on that side, because this will spin inside there. So we're going to get those 2 off. We're going to get this off the tie rod. So we have the bump steer from Steeda. This is a 15 on here. And once you get that nut off, you can hammer that down or use a ball joint separator. and get that off and twist these ends off. We only have the ends. Swaybar is gonna be a little bit annoying. There's a bolt there, and you can't really see it. There's the other bolt. These are both 18s, so I don't know how we're gonna get to that and fish that through, but once we figure it out, I'll let you guys know. So those two 18s come off. Swaybar Endlink bolts come off, and then we're going to take both of these suspension bolts off, and these are 21s. So once that's off, the hub will be resting on these lower control arms here, and we can do our Swaybar, our Endlinks. That'll be off. And then once we get these off, these are I believe these are 16. Let me double check. So these are 15. So we get those 3 bolts off, compress our spring, get all these bolts off, and the hub will drop down. So yeah, we'll get these off. That's step 1. I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. Alright, Swaybar Endlink is out for this bolt. Once you take the bolt off, leave the bolt to the top of the head, hit with a hammer, and that'll come out. These bolts are pretty hard, but once you get this tie rod loose, you can turn it all the way to the side and have more access to use a breaker bar or impact. These bolts, I got the nuts off, but haven't got them out yet. So I went ahead and took loose these top bolts, but be careful because the whole suspension arm will drop, and there is one more wire still attached here for your brakes. So I got a piece of wood under it that way. Supports the weight from that, so I won't pull on that wire. All the other wires I took it loose. So once this is out, get those out, I get the suspension out, and then I'll keep the rotor on a block or either move it over to the side a little bit. These arms don't support as much as I thought it would, but I'm gonna have to move it over anyway so I can get room to get to those 2 bolts. Another quick note, guys, on these suspension bolts, these 21 suspension bolts, they are the pressed kind, so they're kind of pressed in there, so it's really best to come from the nut side. They're 24s though. I still did it from this side, but I would assume it's probably best to do the other side. And also as far as getting them out, because they're pressed in there, you don't have to kind of screw your nut on there and then hammer them out. So you can see that one I haven't got out yet, but I'll get a hammer to it. But if you're struggling to get them out, it's because you really need to do the nut side, because they are pressed and ridged. I got one Swaybar bolt off. You can kind of reach it here to get that off. I have to figure out that other one in there. But one thing I forgot was this sensor here, some type of leveling sensor maybe for headlights or suspension travel. But I forgot it, so that arm came out. So you can either just pull that arm out your own or unbolt it from the back bottom here, that bolt there, or you can unbolt the 2 bolts here and unplug it. But however you want to get it off, this will need to come off because I pulled it out right here when it dropped, so I'll have to get that back in there. So for that top Swaybar link, if you see my extension here, shit, but that's the bolt right there where I was trying to point it. Right where this fell at, where's my finger at, that's the bolt, the top bolt for the Swaybar Endlink, or not the Swaybar. You can get the other one from the inside. This one you have to get from the top, and it's an 18. And here, when you get ready to do your springs, you must use these or something because this gets dangerous. So you want to put one on each side, one on the bottom. Be careful though, because of course your spring is a coil, so it's angled. So you want to try to get the same tension on both to compress it. Even with this tool, you want to hit this nut facing away from you. So usually I put it between my legs this way and then do it. So just in case something happens, it'll shoot forward and shoot back and won't hit you. So I'm doing the open area because these springs are under a lot of force.
F Fuck this shit.
So it seems like the top hat or the bushings and suspension have bearings for this GT350. I don't think they're load bearing. I think you just take them out and they'll allow for the suspension to turn left and right. So I don't know, you may can get these out safely and swap them over to your camber plates, or just buy new ones. But I was gonna look into it and see if you want to get new ones or not. But they're not pressed in, so even if you buy new ones, I'm assuming it's gonna be loose. And Dave got our springs off, so he had a nice one. Everything came off safely. So we're getting some good progress. Passenger side is all a bit loose, you know, because of moi. Then I got those 2 bolts off. Y'all heard that? Right now, I'm getting this other Swaybar bolt off. So I got me a ratchet and a wrench on there. That one's pretty easy. That back one on this side, you can see it. It's on the other side, but go ahead, I found somewhere. I'm gonna take out this intake box to get to it, to see how to get to that. They put on new springs, compressing those down, the top hat on. So I got that Swaybar bolt out, but to get to that other top one, you know, we did it from the top on this side. So to get the top on this side, I'm gonna take the intake off. There were 4 bolts, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Took off your filter, and then we should be able to slide this whole cover up and out. Yep, intake's off. It was just hung on this, so you can kind of bend this back. You have to take off your some hoses, but cut it off, and there is the other Swaybar bolt, and that's one I got too from underneath. You have to use a wrench because the socket won't fit with the alternator in a way. So get an 18 wrench and get it off. And we're gonna get an extension and get that off. Then we gotta figure out how to fish this Swaybar from under here, which may not be that hard.
Alright, so I've used the spring compressor tool, compressed the new Eibach springs, got it down where I'm able to get the top nut to get the the pillow ball mounts or the top mounts on. I've got a few threads engaged already.
So you bolt this, like it slides here, right?
Yeah, for camber.
So where are the bolts from the suspension? The 3 bolts?
This is the 3 bolts.
Like for the top hat. Like how is this bolted down right now?
Once this nut is tightened, this top hat will be fixed to the strut. And
this will go back.
So now this will allow camber adjustment, and then this is the bolts that bolt,
so
to the shock tower.
This end goes to the hub, so the pointed triangular end goes to the center of the motor.
Yeah, so I mean, you can see when I can rotate it if I need it.
Oh yeah, because this is that bearing.
Yeah, so technically this should be the orientation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. We got the Swaybar out. We came from this direction. It takes a lot of wiggling and finagling, but just keep rotating, twisting, and pulling because you need to clear that area.
Can you slide it under?
And you need to clear your accessories. So we pull it out going this direction and cut wiggling and get it past the accessories. Just turn it different ends so the end of the Swaybar won't catch, and you'll get it out. It just takes a little bit of finessing. So we'll probably fish a new one in the same way. Had comparison here for our Ford Motor Performance. Is it just an upgraded part for 350 or does it come from the R or something?
It's upgraded for Ford. Aftermarket.
It's upgraded. It's a little bit thicker in diameter. And it's blue. So it is definitely thicker. And we also have 2 holes here so we can choose where we want to mount it to. So I'm assuming the lower one will be more stiff and the top one will be less stiff.
Yeah.
Ain't that right, Dave?
Yes, sir.
side note here, guys. I was gonna look at Elvis and Dave's wheel collections. We got some Nismos, LM. So we're about to fish new sway bar and front sway bar. One thing about that sway bar and Endlinks, they're adjustable, of course. So when you get your alignment or you want to make it more stiff, you can adjust it. But for right now, we're just gonna make them the same as OE length until we can get to a shop. Like I said, the sway bar has 2 different connections, so you have to shorten it depending on which connection you want to use. This is a rear butt, same concept, where it's 2 holes and you can choose which one. So we're gonna try to fish it in from the driver's side.
Yeah.
Basically the same way we got it out, but fish it through here. Everything on our front is together. So we got sway bar in there. Got those bolts tightened. Still haven't done the bump steer tie rods. Those are in there. Tighten these up. You need to put a 10 mil socket on the front, and then the bolt or the nut is an 18. Make sure you hammer these in before you tighten them. And you can pull it through with the screw if you want, but these are the press type screws. All your clips and everything back in there. Got our Eibach lowering springs on here, so we'll see what that height change is. And yeah, don't forget to put that back however you took it loose.
Alright, today we'll be installing the Steeda G-Trac brace. This is the front subframe brace. So this is pretty much what came in the box. You have the subframe spacer. This goes in between the subframe. It prevents prevents it from crushing down as you tighten the bolts here, as well as you have some metal plates to prevent that as well. And there's just a 2-point brace for the GT350. There's one there and one there. All right, guys. So under the car, I'm trying to get. You can see. Sorry for the bad visual. Basically, I have one of these, the spacers that go in between your subframe right here. The subframe, sorry, kind of dark right there. This subframe right here is actually hollow inside the tube. So, what Steeda made, let me show you. You actually have a stamped out area right there. Get the light correctly. Give me 1 second. Right here. So you have 2 holes here and here. So you'll feed that spacer through here and it'll line up right here. On some GT350s, you'll actually encounter that when they press that, when the factory pressed that hole in. There's actually a little piece that may still be in there. It's bad angle. Let's see if I can get that angle real quick. I don't know if you can see that. Ow. Right there. So it's on both sides, top and bottom hole. You can kind of see the hole's hollow, goes all the way up. So we're gonna put a bolt through this hole. So since it's kind of hollow in the center, we put that spacer in to prevent it from crushing as we tighten the bolt down. So with that metal stamp left in there, we're gonna take a screwdriver and knock that out and put the spacer in there. I'll bolt one side up and I'll show you the finished product on one side. Alright, back at it again. I moved that piece right there. I stuck the spacer inside this big hole. Went all the way down. Let me put on a light right quick. Sorry for the... Okay, you see that spacer right there? So that spacer right there is the one I showed you from outside. You put that in, and that's kind of like a collar, preventing this subframe piece from smushing down as you tighten the bolt. Alright, so there's one side installed. So again, I have the spacer right here. This is the actual brace. That's the bolt, the washer, and the nut on the top side. They actually included the steel plates right here, which I used top and bottom. So the purpose of these steel plates is, again, as you tighten this down to 60 foot-pounds, this bar right here will prevent it from, or these plates will prevent this bar from squashing down your scuff frame. So that's pretty much it. You can kind of see here, you have the bar. It's kind of offset it on this side. So once you bolt this up, it should be flush, almost flush with your subframe. You kind of have this L shape on this back side. It should line up with your subframe. You can kind of see right here. This is the bar. This is kind of the L I was talking about. You line this up flush with the side of your subframe right here. You kind of see that.
Alright guys, last we have this rear subframe brace. We're putting the passenger side on now. Pretty easy to install. I think it's like 4 or 5 bolts. So you got 2 that go there. There's already holes on the frame for that. So those 2 go there. Supply it with another bolt to go here in the middle, and then here goes here, and there's a this plate. This is a threaded plate, and it slides in there. You put your screw in after it down. There's already a hole here. So you just nut and bolt, put the nut in. You can slide the nut from the back side. And sticking up your rear subframe, it'll tie your rear subframe to this point on the actual frame, and this point. That'll be it. Alright guys, here we got the Steeda bump steer tie rods on. Wasn't too hard to do. Get your bolts to push your ball joint in, top and bottom. I marked it with tape on the length of the O one to make sure we get to the same length until we get in alignment. Alright, on to the rear guys. So we're doing springs, control arms, camber arms, vertical bars, Swaybar, Endlinks, and diff collars. So I think the order that we're going to do is remove this shock here, which should be 2 18s. So 2 18s there to remove that shock. We're going to be replacing this camber arm here, or well, it's really a control arm, but I'm going to put a camber arm on it. And these are also 18. Get that bolt back there, it's an 18. We're gonna do this vertical bar here, which these are a 15. And then we're also going to do this here, put an adjustable in here. So this will be adjustable tie rod. And these are also 18. Then we have our Swaybar Endlinks here, which are a 16. Although they are not. They are also 18. And then the Swaybar itself. This is going to be 2 13s. Okay, so we also have to do this subframe. I have to lower the subframe to get the springs out. Lower the subframe, get the springs out. I'll get the both sizes later. It'll be these two, this one, the front section of the rear subframe. And then that long bolt here, and we'll use that to actually lower it. Of course, support your diff. Support your diff with a jack or transmission jack. So we're gonna see what all we're gonna take off, because the exhaust may have to come down. So we may have to take those bolts loose to lower this exhaust, but we'll see. Because we also have to put in transmission, subframe bushing collars. So we'll see it all come loose, but I'll go ahead and get the control arms off first. Alright guys, got these two 18s out. Make sure you unplug this so that whenever you take this off, you won't rip that. And I went ahead and took this loose too for this brake line. So when we lower the subframe, I don't want to snag on that. The line on this bolt is actually a 15. So once you get these out, you just kind of wiggle, or you can get a hammer and knock it out. And then this would be a new one here. It's called a vertical bar. They came with some polyurethane bushings, but we're gonna leave them in here. This will still be a street car, a daily car. And this steel should be a little bit stiffer than the OE brand new ones, or being brand new compared to the OE old one. So you see that little pocket there that goes in there, and you just put the same bolts back in. Alright, so we got this new one in. Struggling to get that pivot ball in there, but we have to get the up control arm off anyway to put the adjustable ones on. And we got the sway bar on. So let's see. Did those two bolts. Sway bar Endlink. Go ahead and take this bolt loose too, so you can have room for the brake line to move, since we're gonna lower subframe and take these shocks off. That just goes there on that hole, and the Swaybar Endlinks, we take those loose. Swaybar Endlinks, you got Swaybar Endlink, Elvis? Oh, I got one. Take these off. The inside is a 6mm hex, so you put that on there, and then you push your ratchet wrench on there to get those off. I'm gonna put the new ones on. Just adjust your height to the stock height. You can have everything changed over in your alignment if you need to, but stock height. And then these, instead of having the Allen, they're gonna have a regular socket. So I believe this is a 10mm. Actually, it's an 8. So you'll push your adjustable wrench here and put an 8 on there to keep it from spinning.
Okay, so I just put off the, I guess these would be the upper control arms. Of course, you can see this is the stock one. This is the aftermarket adjustable. So orientation wise, let me show you how it's supposed to go and how I took it off. Alright, so this back location goes into that slot over there. Okay, thanks, Mikhail. Okay, so general orientation is it goes in like this. Bolt side is on the left, and then the nut side's on the right. And then this goes into the slot like this. I mean, taking it off wasn't too hard. The nut was a 18-inch. The bolt side was a 16-inch. Same with this side. Yeah, that was pretty much it for the control arm.
Oh, then okay, we got the tie rod here, not tie rod, toe arm. So this is eccentric. You can try to mark it up if you want the location, but we're gonna have to get it all aligned anyway with the new stuff on. So that comes out and then it comes out here, but this is welded, so you gotta do it from the head side, which is a 18. What we're gonna try to do is get all the arms loose. I'm thinking if we take the control arms off, we have to replace it anyway. It will allow this to come down, and we can get this spring out. But make sure you keep a jack under here once you get stuff loose, so it won't have too much pressure and snap on you. So jack, get all your arms off, and then lower the jack. And I'm thinking we have enough room to get this spring out. We gotta jump the subframe anyway to do hits, to do the subframe bushing collars. So if we need more room, we're gonna take it down anyway. But the GT350 has all these coolant lines, and I don't want to try to take anything loose because it has a diff cooler, so we don't have much room. So taking this down or lowering this should give us more. All right, so we got these two subframe bolts out. There should be some very long bolts. Give me a bolt, Elvis. Let me finish. So these are how those bolts look. The front and rear are the same bolts. That came out, and then one right here. Elvis has this alignment kit in to put those two sleeves in there. So one goes here, and we already have one inside of there. He also has some plates, subframe plates to go on there. Hey, what Elvis, you want to explain it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, so these are Delrin rods right here. As you can see, the bolt, this bolt right here is really thin. So sometimes from factory, when they bolt this on, you have movement inside. So what this does is, once it is in, this Delrin piece takes up the entire space, so it's centered. It centers the subframe like this, so there's no movement. That's pretty much all that is. And then I've also bought some subframe collars right here. See the front bottom right here, and then I have a couple more. This pretty much deletes the space in between the subframe and the chassis to make it a stiffer, overall stiffer feel for the driving experience.
They go on the bottom side like this?
Yeah.
Okay.
So on the bottom side there, you can actually see there's rubber right here. So just basically match it up, slide it in.
You do that, and you put the sleeves in, just push your bolt back in. But we're gonna leave it down low. We got the jack on there. We're gonna see if we can lower this subframe a little bit to get this spring out.
So you can kind of see it goes top and bottom. You have kind of something similar to this. The rubber piece goes on this indentation right here, and then this goes on the empty area right here. So when you force this up with the bolt, it closes that space.
Alright, try to lower it down some.
Alright. Next, we're gonna carefully lower this, and hopefully get this spring out right here. Alright, here we go. A little bit more.
And so surprisingly, Elvis was right. We were able to do just one side. I thought we had to lower the whole subframe both sides, but you should be able to do one side at a time. Move the spring out, and then get your new spring in. Springs out. Subframes, bolts are out, so those are lowered.
Oh, sorry.
No spring?
Yep, yes, spring.
Make sure you put this back on first, but you see you guys collar there. Screw this up, and then those two bolts go in, and we already got this one up here. So you already got that one into it, and it's only one collar on this side. Got the new Eibach springs in. So we were able to lower just one side, like I said earlier. So once you get your spring in, just make sure it's twisted down, because the end of that coil has to go up against here. So make sure that's twisted right, and same with the top. You have a spacer that already has that twist in there, so get that lined up. Once you jack up your subframe back, you can thread these bolts in and it'll pull up the rest. Alright guys, just a recap, we got everything done. All of our Steeda parts are in, got our adjustable Swaybar Endlinks, our beefier Swaybar, and that's adjustable also. Got our new Eibach lowering springs in. Got the subframe bushing sleeve there. And we had it there. We also have the Steeda adjustable controller arms installed there, and there's your adjustment. We got the adjustable tow rods in. And then lastly is the this support brace here. Connects the rear subframe there and connects it here. So that's everything. Everything nice, shiny, and new. Everything torqued down. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. This is a fun project. Next, we're gonna have this thing on the track. We're going to Atlanta Motorsports Park to see how she performs. Expect some good times out of it. I mean, we've done so much work. It's already a track car for sure, but Elvis wants to make it even more track worthy. So all of our stuff is done. Front's done too. Swaybar Endlinks. Put this brace here, connect the left and right sides, and we also have the Steeda bump steer tie rods installed. So yeah, I'll post some track videos of how everything goes. Thanks for watching Camber's Creation.